A judge has denied Diddy's request for a new trial and demand for acquittal just days before sentencing, and Diddy will be sentenced on Friday. It's being revealed as well that on Friday, Diddy will speak to the judge prior to being sentenced. His lawyers are also asking the judge if he can wear street clothes instead of the usual jail clothes, and this will be so that he can look the best in court whilst he is making his speech. Now let's take a look at the reasons why the judge denied Diddy's request. The judge said that Combs didn't forfeit or waive these challenges. The first question is whether Combs can bring a legal challenge to his conviction on a Rule 29 motion. The government contends that Combs should have made his challenges earlier under Rule 12 and so he forfeited them, and that the instruction given to the jury on the definition of P was of his own devising. First, Combs can bring his legal challenges under Rule 29 despite not raising them earlier. Second, Combs didn't waive his arguments concerning the definition of P by proposing the instruction the court gave. Combs' newly proposed definition of P is wrong. Combs argues that P, properly defined, has two elements absent from this case. First, the defendant must have a financial motive. Second, the exchange of money for intimate acts must be bilateral. Whoever pays for the intimate act must engage in it. Both arguments, the judge said, share a similar structure. The judge continued, P means intimate acts for sale. A defendant need not have a financial motive. Combs first argues that P in the Mann Act requires that a defendant have a financial motive. There's nothing in the text of the statute to support this requirement, and it doesn't make any sense in this context. Combs wasn't convicted of P, but rather transporting others for P. A bilateral exchange of money for intimate acts is not required. Combs argues that P is a strictly bilateral transaction. One party pays the other for intimate acts. Then those same two parties have the intimate acts. That definition would allow P almost out of existence. It would exclude any situation in which a person pays a third party to have intimate acts with an employee. Combs argues that these cases show that P requires a bilateral exchange of money for intimate acts. Not so. These cases involve the question of whether there's P when there's no intimate acts at all between the participants. That isn't the issue at here, given that there's no question that Ventura, Jane, and the escorts had intimate relations. The judge also said that defining P as intimate acts for money does not create constitutional problems. There was sufficient evidence to convict under the definition adopted. Combs argues that the evidence wasn't sufficient to convict him. To sustain a conviction under the Mann Act, one of the dominant purposes of the transportation must be for the transported individual to engage in P. At least one of the male workers also had intimate acts with Ventura without payment and felt romantically attached to her. The judge said that no new trial is warranted under Rule 33. Taking into consideration the strength of the government's case, the government at trial presented overwhelming evidence of Combs' guilt under the Mann Act on many occasions with respect to both Ventura and Jane, including testimony from Ventura and Jane, testimony from the workers involved, and evidence from text messages and emails. The new trial is denied. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll keep you updated.